looking for the updates to the product, and also try and do the most cool things. Don't just do the basics, take it to a different level.
Awesome. You and I were both around when Power Platform came out, and it's been improved so much since then. I mean, it was cool when it came out, but it's really neat to see the evolution of it. And now people who are just starting their journey learning Power Platform, it is so much easier for them. Uh, just the tools that are available and the exciting things that they are doing. And speaking of exciting things, you have an exciting job as a solution designer, and people listening might not know what that is. Could you share a little bit about what does a solution designer do and how do you help customers?
Awesome. Yeah. So as a solution designer in my day-to-day job, I'm more or less between a functional consultant and a solution architect. So in my day-to-day role is to understand what the stakeholder is looking for and to also compare what the product can give them, and whatever the product can give them, understand how does it affect the whole organization from a performance point of view, security, usability. Just make sure we're giving customers a robust solution. So in some cases, it's pretty very easy to get a requirement and then just say, okay, yeah, that's the requirement. But as part of my role is to also have that design document to make sure the stakeholder understands exactly what we are building for them or what we are making for them. So apart from just providing that to the stakeholder, it's also my role to give the stakeholder insights of what
Mm-hmm.
it is bringing, how do they benefit the organization, and at the same time doing these POCs, proof of concepts, create something, look at a business problem they have, create a demo and say, okay, look, we can solve this problem by doing A, Z, A, B, C, things like that. So that's what I predominantly do as a solution designer in helping the customers, and at the same time, just being observant in exactly what are their main pain points. So in some cases, it's easily done. You deliver a solution and it's like, okay, great, it's all working. But just start paying attention to see what is it they're having a lot of challenges with and what can be done, whether it's additional training which is needed, and also looking at the adoption side of things. So that's what I mainly look at when I'm helping customers.
Awesome. Well, I bet that people who are just learning Power Platform are overwhelmed with the big list of things that you just gave, because it's everything that you're doing is so far beyond just knowing the technology. There's a ton of other skills that you're leveraging there, from listening skills, asking questions, documenting. Um, so, what should they think about in addition to their technical skills, just starting to build first? Sorry, I put the wrong question up there. Um, just starting to build first in just evolving in their career in Power Platform.
Yep, awesome. That's a great question. So to get the foundations right is very, very important. So with the Microsoft Learn career paths, there are different options available: functional consultant, solution architect. But my recommendation here is to always start with the foundational modules, understand what is the terminology, what does that terminology actually stand for. And also, apart from understanding the terminology, Microsoft give you the opportunity to try the tech for free. So try it out, understand exactly what it is you're actually reading, what it is you can do with the platform. And at the same time, it's great to have tech, but it's also very important to have some very good analysis points. So being able to analyze and say, okay, this is what's happening at this point, but it can be done better this way. So a very good example here, you could have an organization doing a lot of stuff for their holiday bookings. So recently, I went to my local garage to change a tire, and the next thing the engineer said to me, "Oh, would you like an invoice?" So the next thing he's doing is busy writing something on paper, to give me the invoice. Then he's also writing on another folder on a piece of paper, I've changed a tire, this is cost that. So again, from a technical point of view, is for you to quickly analyze things. Okay, we can create an app to help them record how many tires they're changing. Then that way you're kind of bringing value to the organization. And at the same time, once you understand the foundational knowledge, kind of keep challenging yourself, start understanding what does a functional consultant do, what is involved, and keep asking yourself those questions. Okay, that's a functional consultant, that's a solution architect. What is the difference? What does one do than the other? So you understanding exactly these roles and also what's involved kind of helps you a lot. And in terms of skills as well, one of the skills which is very, very important in terms of a career, this is a bit of a weird one, right? It's about being hungry, staying hungry all the time. When I mean hungry, not for food, but hungry to learn. So every single time, do not just settle down and say, okay, yeah, I've learned it, I know it all. It can never be, I know it all whatsoever. There's always something out there which is different you can learn every single time. So keep challenging yourself to gain more skills to go to the next level.
You really nailed it there with that hungry to learn. And kind of the inverse of that is this is a great career for people who love to learn. Like if you find yourself as just like, I just love learning one thing after another, every organization that you go into to help with Power Platform, you get to learn about their whole organization. And Alexio mentioned, we want to help them get insights. We want to help them get success for their business. Well, in order to do that, you've got to learn all about their business. And it's such a fun thing to just learn about all these different industries and these different businesses and how they run and how to really make them successful. So that is so neat. We are going to shift gears a little bit here. And Alexio, when I look at your Microsoft MVP and I look at everything that you have done to earn that MVP and achieve that, you are involved with so many things, communities and mentoring and teaching communities how to mentor and starting communities. Uh, you know a lot about what people in the region of Africa should be thinking about in terms of getting involved. Would you share with the listeners of what should they be thinking of if they're not currently involved in Power Platform communities, and maybe are there some that you know about that they should join?
Yeah, great question. So, in terms of communities, my definition of what a community is, it is a family. So, although in some cases you don't know the people, but it's a very great family which is there. So, there is so many communities available out there. These are opportunities not just for you to go in to get help, it's also an opportunity for you to share what you've learned because there is someone out there who's going to learn from it. So I would also recommend joining Power Platform Africa Community. So we have a group on LinkedIn. So I recommend people to join. And if anyone has any questions in terms of career guidance or Power Platform, how to go about it, I'm also very open. Drop me an inbox on my LinkedIn. I'm very open to that. And at the same time, I would also recommend the Power Platform School. So the Power Platform School is designed to bring more people of ethnic backgrounds into the technology space. So I'm very passionate about these communities. Not just I want to help people learn, but I'm also determined to see outcomes. So seeing you learn, support that learning journey, also making a career out of it, not just to accumulate a lot of knowledge without actually taking it into work to help organizations.
Hmm. Yeah, that's some great tips. And I know if for those of you who are playing the game, we have you go out and explore communities and join communities. So Alexia just gave you a number there, and it sounds like he's a good source of what communities should I join. So thank you for sharing all that. And I just think about the time that you invest in building communities You don't have to do that. You know, you could just go do your solution designer role, and that might be enough. But I really wonder, like, what motivates you to mentor others and really to spend so much time building these communities and and even becoming a mentor to mentors.
Yep. In terms of why I'm really passionate about mentoring, it goes back to a personal story about myself, where I started on Facebook, and some of these people who helped me, I did not know who they were, and some of these people, I had one who was a senior person at Microsoft, and I also had a director for an organization in Europe, and these people they took their time to help me to mentor me and at the same time as well, I reflect back at my time at college, and I really wanted to get to do something in IT as well. And my lecturer went out of his way to buy me a computer to learn technology. So those allyship and mentoring kind of inspire me to kind of give back to the community. So every single time I get the opportunity to help someone, I'm really up for it. Of course, there's also an opportunity for me to learn from that person as well. So that's why I'm very interested because that person mentoring gives me the opportunity to kind of think, okay, that person asked me that question, how do I answer it?
Mm,
And there's a lot of joy in mentoring someone and kind of seeing them succeed. That's for me the key drive behind it. Because since I've been on this mentoring journey, mentoring others, I've seen some success stories. So it kind of gives me that more energy to say, you know what, I need to keep going. Of course, in some cases, the success stories are not there, but what pushes me to keep going is the people still come back and say, okay, look, I'm not quite there yet, but I'm learning this. How do I do it? So that kind of gives me that edge to say, you know what, I need to keep going. And most importantly, as well, with the experience I've had now within different roles, there's opportunity for anyone who wants to learn to be able to dive into it. One thing many people used to be very scared about is if I get mentoring, I've learned something new, how am I going to get a job? So, what I've seen in a lot of organizations I've worked with recently, it's they're just looking for someone who can deliver something for someone. They're not even really worried about the experience. So when I see those kind of things, it then makes me take it back and say, okay, if I mentor someone, they learn something, then a question to go, I can even refer them to that opportunity. So
mm,
those are some of the reasons why I keep pushing and mentoring others.
yeah. Wow. Just the heart that you have for, you know, creating opportunity for other people. But I heard a little bit of intrinsic motivation there, that and kind of a theme is you love to learn and you actually see mentoring as a way to learn. It challenges you. And I think that's a great advice for people who are senior people that listening and saying, hey, after you've achieved a lot in your career, there's no stopping the learning. Like, turn around and mentor people and take in some learning from the people that you mentor. So that's pretty awesome thought. Um, we are already started the Power Apps Africa Challenge, and it's going to be going through the month of November. But there's some people listening to this who are in the challenge. Um, some people who are listening that didn't make the registration, and now they're thinking, "Oh no, did I miss out?" They can certainly go to the aka.ms and join the Power Apps Africa Challenge community and still win some things. But we'd love to hear from you as an official coach, and you're in the game every day playing or overseeing players and approving some of their missions and things like that. What are your tips for them to succeed in the challenge?
Yeah. So for me, the key tip for succeeding in this challenge, it's for you to keep that hunger to say, you know what, I need to be able to understand this. So this challenge here, as long as much as a challenge, there's awards at the end of it. Also take it as an opportunity to be in a position to create your own career as well. to also come up with different solutions. So within this challenge, you might come across some things you haven't even and you don't understand or came across in the past. Feel free to raise your hand, ask. And in some cases, not just asking, go online and find out what is it. What is it? What is it when they say, for example, a model-driven app? What is the definition of a model-driven app? What is involved? And at the same time, do not overthink about things you see. The key thing here is to have that understanding to be able to translate that to any other problem which technology can solve, and start looking within your own environment and understand, okay, how does technology can fix some of these problems. So as part of the Power Apps Africa Challenge, also try to network with others. So we spoke about the community earlier. Power Apps Africa Challenge in itself is a community. So you're meeting new people, some people you haven't even met before, interact with them, build those relationships. So by building those relationships, you're also setting a very good foundation going forward, because any, anyone participating in this challenge, uh, they're all amazing people. So at some point or another, there could be someone you can go to and say, okay, look, I've come up with this solution. What do you think? Or you might say, okay, I've got this knowledge here. I need to share it. Can we have a call? And I'm going to share with you what I've learned. Vice versa, you can ask a question and someone can answer you. So with the Power Apps Africa Challenge, the last tip is keep going to the end. Whatever you do not understand, please do write it down as well, and also be in a position to ask.
Awesome. I love that tip. I love the idea of just reaching out and making a connection with someone. You don't always have to um, build a long term relationship or say, will you mentor me officially or anything like that. Sometimes just making that connection, you find later down the road that you have something you can help them with, or they have something you can help you with. And so that just makes a big network of people. So, really great advice for our Power Apps Africa challengers. And of course, definitely as you earn all your coins, look in the store and you will see Alexio there as a potential. Some of you have Alexio as your coach in the game, so you can have conversations with him via the conversations area. But for those who are not in the game, join us in the community and continue to learn and win prizes there. And we just want to thank Alexio for spending this time with us, sharing your wisdom as a senior solution designer. And we look forward to your participation in the game. So,
Awesome.
yes, go there, do it. That's what we say.
Yeah. Let's go with the challenge. I want to see some exciting apps. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Yes. Likewise. Have a great day.
Have a great day, everyone.